Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of our Career Video Library series here at Nevada State College Career Services. As always, my name is Zach. I am the Coordinator of Employer Relations. I'm joined today by Pam. She's going to talk to us a little bit about SafeNest and some of the opportunities that are available to students. So we're just, without any further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Pam.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Zach, for inviting me. My name is Pam Bernhardt, and I am the volunteer manager here at SafeNest. SafeNest is a nonprofit organization where our mission is to end domestic violence. So we work with people who are experiencing domestic violence in a variety of ways.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So how did you come to work at SafeNest? And can you talk briefly about the path that you took to get to your current position?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I went to college at the University of Northern Colorado, I majored in sociology with an emphasis in criminal justice, and I wanted to be in law enforcement. So I started my career actually as a Colorado State Trooper, and I found myself out in the middle of the night, early in the morning, talking to people, concerned about how we got there. Like, why am I putting you in handcuffs at 2 o'clock in the morning? So I found that I really wanted to be more of the proactive and find a career more in the preventative rather than at the end where it ended up in an arrest. So that's kind of how I started my career path with social services and social work. And I spent the majority of my career in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, working for Interagency Council. And I worked with victims of domestic violence, food bank, court, crisis intervention. So I have 15 plus years in crisis intervention advocacy. And I found my way to Las Vegas, which was on my bucket list. And I was fortunate enough to have SafeNest take me in.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I'd just love to ask that question because it's good. I think it's good for students to see just the different paths that a career can take. And, no one ever starts doing what they think they're going to doing, what they think they're going to end up doing a lot of the times. So
absolutely, right.
Yeah. So what are some of the services that SafeNest provides?
SafeNest, we have several different programs all under our umbrella, under our auspice. We have a shelter where we house women and children who are experiencing domestic violence. We understand that anybody can be a victim of domestic violence, so we also have alternative housing for men who are experiencing domestic violence. We never turn anybody away that is needing a safe space. So we have a sheltering program. We have our counseling program, both with those who are experiencing domestic violence and those that use violence. So we have our offenders treatment program as well as our victims counseling. And then unfortunately, children are also subjected to domestic violence when they're living in the household. So we provide child's counseling as well. Within our shelter program, we provide services to we meet people where they are. So whatever they're needing to continue on their journey, whether that's help with immigration papers, whether that's help with finding a stable place to live, whether that's help with retraining for jobs, we can help that. But why I am here is our program that we need help with the most is our PS 417 program, which is PS 417 is Project Safe 417. PS 417 is actually the call sign for domestic violence throughout Metro. So whenever there is a crime committed in Metro's jurisdiction, when there's probable cause for an arrest or there is an arrest been made, they call us out onto scene and our crisis advocates respond in person 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to those that are experiencing domestic violence. We provide a listening ear, and then we provide resources and information for those who are experiencing domestic violence.
Awesome, thank you. So what sorts of opportunities are available for students who are interested in interning or volunteering with SafeNest?
Yeah, so our internship program is with our PS 417 program. So you would start out your internship career or your volunteer career with SafeNest through our PS 417 program. That's kind of our gateway into SafeNest. That's where our need is. That's where we heavily recruit. Once you go through the training process, which consists of a 1-day training class in a classroom style. Now that we're further out of the pandemic, our classes are back in person, so we're excited about that. So you would attend a 1-day training for that, and then you would be matched with a PS417 crisis advocate in a ride-along scenario where you report to our main building at 3900 Meadows Lane, which is in the outer perimeter of the Meadows Mall. And then you would just ride with a PS417 advocate for your 4-hour shift, wherever the day or night takes you, depending on the calls. And then we respond to those who are experiencing domestic violence. We like for our trainees to have at least 3 calls under your belt. So sometimes you can get those in, 1 or 2 times going out on a ride along, but the average is about 3 ride alongs. And then you would be ready to respond to calls on your own. And when we say respond to calls on your own, that kind of sounds scary, but it's not really, because you're always with law enforcement. Law enforcement will always be on the scene, and you would never be by yourself.
Okay, great. Thank you. So what do you look for in qualified candidates for these internship positions?
So the perfect candidate would obviously have a passion to help people who are experiencing domestic violence, would have a listening ear. We teach in our academy to hone in on your active listening skills. Since you'll be going out on your own after you complete the training, we would need somebody that has a reliable transportation to and from scenes. We dispatch with a technology that's similar to a rideshare technology. So we would ask that you have a cell phone, and then we require a background check to pass your background check. We are asking that people incur the cost of their background check, which is $47. But if that is a financial drain on you, then you can apply for a scholarship for that or a fee waiver.
Okay, great. So if students are interested in doing this and signing up, how do they apply? And is there a deadline?
We recruit all the time. So we do spring and summer and fall semester. So there's really not a deadline. You would just jump in on the next available training, which we do trainings once a month. We're typically dark in June as we're getting ready for a big annual children's program that we do with a Camp Hope. But so other than that, 12 months a year, you would sign on for the next available training. We're on Handshake, so you would go into Handshake and apply through Handshake, and that would give you the link to our digital intern/volunteer application, and then you would go from there.
Awesome. This isn't on our list, but I was just wondering for myself, is there a length, like how long do these internships last? So how long can you be an intern, basically?
Well, that's up to you and your academic advisor. We've had students that have done 2 semesters in a row. So it just really depends on your academic advisor. We have different opportunities that once you get through PS417, we have some court things, especially now that court is loosening up the restrictions with COVID of having people come in. So there's different ways to keep interning as long as it's okay with your academic advisor.
Gotcha, cool. So for my little bonus question here that I like to ask everybody, what is a piece of career or life advice that you wish someone had given you when you were a student?
Well, that is a great question. I would say, well, for me, I thought that my career was going to be in law enforcement, and it changed dramatically. So don't be afraid to explore other career paths, or don't be afraid to, say, well, that's not really my career. That really doesn't fit. It very well might. So just kind of don't be so narrow focused or laser focused on one thing where you're putting blinders on and missing a lot of great careers around you.
Definitely. That's been sort of a theme with these, is a couple different employers have said, be open for new opportunities that maybe you weren't expecting, and be open for different avenues that you know, you had never intended to go on, because sometimes that's how you find what you actually love. Sometimes
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you find something that you're truly passionate about, then it doesn't feel like a job or a career. It's your life passion. So,
yeah, absolutely. So finally, my last question here, which is if students have questions, if they want to reach out to you, if they want more information, how can they contact you?
the best way to contact me is my email, which is P for Pam, the first three letters of my last name, which is Bernhardt. So it's PBER at safenest.org.
Awesome. And that information will, as always, it'll be underneath this video. We'll make sure that wherever you're watching this video, that information is somewhere where you can find it. Pam, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat with me for a little bit. Students, please feel free to reach out to her. She's wanting to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, you can also reach out to us at career@nsc.edu. If you want to make an appointment with our office for more information about internships, about how to find a job, resume help, anything like that. If you're applying for SafeNest and maybe you want help with, I don't know, practicing for the interview or anything like that, make an appointment with our office, which you can do at calendly.com/NSC career. So thank you again, Pam, and thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Zach. I really appreciate it.